Hey, there you are. Can't sleep again? Yeah, I figured. It's that kind of night, isn't it? The kind where your brain won't shut up, where every position feels wrong, where the ceiling becomes the most interesting thing in the world. But you don't have to stare at it alone. Not tonight. Let me sit with you for a while. We'll do what we always do. You and me, here in the dark, letting the world outside fade away. You know what I've got for you tonight? A story. Not just any story. This one's been sitting with me for days. I think you're ready for it. It's about being seen, about being watched, about the moment you realize someone's attention has weight. Close your eyes if you want, or keep them open. Either way, I'm right here. There's a house, a street, a neighbor, and a wave that never stops. Let me tell you what happened. The Hendersons moved into 47 Maple Drive on a Tuesday in October. Classic American suburb, identical houses with different colored shutters, lawns cut to regulation length, the kind of street where everyone waves and nobody really talks. Sarah Henderson noticed him first. She was unpacking boxes in the living room, the kind of tedious work where your mind drifts, and she happened to glance out the front window. Across the street, standing in the driveway of number 52, was their neighbor. Middle-aged guy, gray cardigan, pleasant face. And he was waving at her. Not a big wave, just a small one. Hand raised, gentle back and forth motion. Friendly, normal. Sarah waved back, smiling, then returned to her boxes. 20 minutes later, she walked past the window carrying a lamp. He was still there, still waving. Same motion, same pleasant expression. She waved again, awkwardly this time, and pulled the curtain halfway closed. Friendly neighbors, she muttered to herself, and thought nothing more of it. But that night, when she went to the kitchen for water, she glanced out the window above the sink. The streetlight illuminated number 52's driveway. He was standing there, waving, at 11:47 p.m. Sarah's hand froze on the faucet. She watched for 30 seconds. He didn't move, didn't shift his weight, didn't look around. Just that same gentle wave, hand going back and forth, like a metronome set to friendly. She turned off the kitchen light quickly and went back to bed. He's probably just weird, she told her husband, Mark. Harmless weird. Mark grunted in his sleep. Sarah didn't sleep well that night. The next morning, Sarah opened the bedroom curtains. He was there. waving. 7:23 a.m. Grey cardigan. Same spot in the driveway. Same wave. "Mark," Sarah said, her voice tight. "Mark, look." Her husband shuffled to the window, coffee in hand. "Oh, that's... morning, buddy." Mark waved back enthusiastically. The neighbor's expression didn't change. The wave continued, unchanged in rhythm or intensity. "Maybe he's got something wrong with him," Mark offered. "You know, neurologically, we should be understanding." Sarah nodded. That made sense. That was a reasonable explanation. Except when she left for work at 8:15, backing out of the driveway, she looked across the street. He was there, waving, facing her car. When Mark came home that evening, he mentioned it, casually, over dinner. "So our neighbor again. Still waving. He's really committed to the bit, huh?" "He's been there all day?" Sarah asked. "I don't know about all day, but yeah, he was there when I pulled up." Sarah set down her fork. "Mark, when I left this morning, he was waving at my car. Not at the house, at my car. His body turned to follow me." "Babe, you're overthinking. Go look right now. Right now, tell me if he's there." He sighed, but stood up, walking to the living room window. The silence stretched for 10 seconds. Then, Sarah joined him. Across the street, in the driveway of number 52, the neighbor stood. Grey cardigan, pleasant face, waving directly at their window. "Are you still with me? I know this is weird. Stay with me." Over the next week, the Hendersons tried to ignore it, tried to rationalize it, but the wave never stopped. Sarah tested it. She'd peek through the curtains at random times, 3 a.m., noon, 9:47 p.m. Every single time, without fail, he was there, waving. Sometimes his position shifted slightly, closer to the street or near his mailbox, but always visible from their windows, always waving. Mark tried talking to other neighbors. "Oh, number 52. Nobody's lived there for 3 months. The owner moved to Arizona." "But there's a man," Mark started. "Probably family visiting, checking on the place," she said, already walking away. Mark looked back at the house, empty driveway. Then he blinked. The neighbor was there, waving. He hadn't seen him appear. He was just there. Like he'd always been there. Like Mark had simply failed to notice. That night, Sarah made a decision. She walked across the street. The neighbor didn't acknowledge her approach. His hand continued its gentle wave, his eyes focused somewhere past her, at her house. "Hello, sir? Are you okay? Do you need help?" No response. Just the wave. She reached out, slowly, to touch his shoulder. Her hand passed through the fabric of his cardigan, not through him, but through the space where the cardigan was, like touching air textured to look like cloth. Sarah stumbled backward, her breath catching. The neighbor's head turned. For the first time, he looked directly at her and smiled and kept waving. Sarah ran. They called the police. The officer who came was polite, patient. He looked across the street at the empty driveway and asked if they'd been under any stress lately. Moving was stressful, he said. Sometimes our minds play tricks.
After he left, Sarah and Mark sat in their living room with all the curtains drawn. "We both see him," Mark whispered. "That means he's real. Or it means we're both crazy," Sarah replied. They sat in silence for a long time. Then Mark said, "What if we just don't look?" So they didn't. They kept the curtains closed, avoided windows, pretended that 52 Maple Drive didn't exist. It worked for 3 days. On the 4th day, Sarah woke up at 2 a.m. with the certainty, the bone-deep knowledge that someone was watching her. She turned her head toward the bedroom window. The curtains were closed, but between the fabric and the glass, in that impossible thin space, she could see a hand waving. The movement was patient, friendly, persistent. "Mark," she breathed. "Mark, wake up!" But when she turned to shake her husband, she saw him sitting upright in bed, staring at his side of the window. Another hand, waving between his curtain and glass. "How long has yours been there?" Sarah asked. "I don't know." His voice was hollow. "I just opened my eyes and it was there. How long has yours?" They sat there, frozen, as the hands continued their gentle waves. Then Sarah realized something.
She walked to the bathroom, to the window above the toilet. A hand, waving. The kitchen. 2 hands, one at each window, waving. The guest room, the hallway, the small window by the front door. Every window, every single window in the house. And in each one, the same pleasant, patient wave. "He wants us to see him," Mark said from behind her. "He needs us to see him." "Then what happens when we stop?" Sarah asked. Neither of them answered, because they both knew if they stopped looking, stopped acknowledging the wave, then maybe, just maybe, he'd need to come closer. Maybe he'd need to be somewhere they couldn't help but see him. Somewhere inside. There we go. We made it through together. See? I told you I wouldn't leave. I know, that one was uncomfortable. The kind of uncomfortable that sits in your chest. But you stayed with me. You always do. Thank you for trusting me with this one. Was it real? I don't know. Does it matter? What I know is this. You're here, safe, in your room, with me, and whatever's outside your window right now. Well, you're not looking, are you? Good. Here's the thing about being seen. We all want it. We all crave acknowledgement, that little confirmation that we exist, that we matter. But what happens when something wants that from you? When something needs your attention so badly, it'll wait forever. When the only thing keeping it at a distance is your willingness to look away. I wonder about that sometimes. Late at night, when I can't sleep, like you. But I'll tell you what I tell myself. As long as you've got someone with you, someone like me, someone who understands the dark, you're okay. You're not alone. And being not alone is the most important thing. I'll be here tomorrow night. Same time, same place, your place. You know where to find me. When the thoughts get too loud, when the dark feels too heavy, when you need someone who understands, I'll be waiting. We'll do this again. We always do. You and me against the night. Just one thing before you sleep. If you have to walk past a window tonight, to the bathroom, to the kitchen, wherever, maybe keep your eyes forward. Don't look out. Not because something's there, but because, well, sometimes it's easier not to know. Sleep now.
I'll keep watch, like I always do.
You're not alone.